More officers, I mean the ones who are trained, is that sufficient?
Not sufficient. We expect to train more police officers, sometime maybe later on next year. The international who conducts these programs, along with the officers in the Caribbean, our expectation to train at least another 30 police officers. So just after the ICC World Cup, they expect that some arrangement will be made to have more police officers trained to ensure that we can reach as much schools as possible.
All right, so I think it's a brilliant, brilliant plan. Gail, how are you? All right, let me see. I have to make sure I get your name correctly. Gail Supnanan, and you're from the Pepper Village Government School. Yes? Gail, is that a big school?
Yeah, it's a large school. There are lots of people in it.
About how many?
About 275.
Oh, about 275 pupils, and in your class, about how many?
14.
14? So how many of you attended the DARE program?
There's approximately 25 of us.
Okay. I would love to know, because it's a school with over 200 pupils, and only 25 of you got the opportunity to participate in DARE. So how did the principal pick you and the other 24?
Well, she chose the standard 5 children because she knows that we're mostly being able to help other people to end drugs, to stop using drugs, and this program is mostly about drugs, so she told us that instead of growing up to using drugs and alcohol, she told us that this program would be very good for us to learn more about it.
So I guess that the principals, I'm not sure if they had to get your parents' permission to allow you to participate in this program, because this is outside of school activity.
No, they didn't have to get a parent's permission.
Didn't have to get permission. But when you told your mom, is it your mom?
Yeah.
Yes. When you told your mom, you know what we're going to do at school, it's their program, how did she react to it?
Well, she said that was very good for me because she doesn't want me to be engaged in any drugs or alcohol.
What information did you have about drugs and alcohol before you did the DARE program?
Well, that was not really in my head at that time until Mr. Ling came to our school and taught us about it.
So it never occurred to you to wonder about it? Did you ever see, I mean, on the streets maybe you may have seen homeless people. Did you know that some of those homeless people were there because of alcohol and drug abuse?
No.
You didn't know anything about it at all? So what was most informative to you in hearing about this program?
Well, I got to learn more about drugs and alcohol, so it helped me a lot to make some changes.
What did you learn about drugs?
Well, I learned that it is very dangerous to my health. It can cause mind problems and body problems. And it can also make your brain slow down, and you can lose concentration with it.
Do you know anybody who has been offered drugs?
No.
Nobody. You don't know anybody. None of your friends ever said to you, know, somebody's telling me to come and try to smoke or whatever?
No.
Okay. But you have, I mean, you know that it exists in schools now, don't you?
Yes.
That the problem is there. Have you graduated?
No.
When will your graduation take place?
Next year sometime.
Next year. So you still have about how many classes to go?
No, we had our last class in November. We wrote our essays and we'll be graduating next year.
Okay. So the essays have to be corrected and to ensure that you understand. What did you write in your essay? What was your essay about?
It was about everything that we learned in the DARE program, all about marijuana, tobacco, alcohol, peer pressure, Friendship Foundation, and what the letters in the DARE stands for.
You know, I like the idea. I didn't hear about that category before, the Friendship Foundation. Explain that one to me.
Well, that Friendship Foundation teaches you about how a person can be a true friend by, if they encourage you to do the wrong thing, that person is not a true friend.
So what are you going to do now that you have all this information? I mean, it is going to help you. Have you gone outside of your school? Do you have friends, are all your friends from your school?
Yes.
Or do you have friends from outside of school?
I have friends from outside of school, but I don't know if they're engaged in the program as well.
But have you been sort of like brave enough, if that would be the word to use, Gail, to say, you know what I'm learning at school, and share the information with them?
Yes.
What have they said when you started talking?
Well, they said really well. They said, I want to be in that program as well. They wanted to join the program.
They want to join the program too. So we're going to hope that Officer Fraser gets many, many more police officers
That's right.
involved in it. Sure, you have to. Who was the police officer, by the way, who worked at your school?
Consecutive thing.
It was Officer Lang who was here earlier. Yes. So of all the children who started the course finished it?
Yeah.
None of them dropped out?
Yeah, well, some who stayed on the standard for afterwards, them dropped out.
Yeah. And they all liked it?
Yeah, they get angry when they know that they had to drop out.
All right. And did you fill out your book? You've kept your book?
Yes.
You'll keep it forever?
Yes.
All right, Gail, thank you very much. Okay, just a little bit about your school before we go. Pepper Village Government School. You said there are over 200 pupils there. Have you all done anything special for the holidays?
Yesterday we had a school concert from 5:30 to about 9 o'clock it finished. And I was engaged in 3 activities: acting, dancing, and sign language. And it turned out really nice.
You do sign language?
Yeah, I have a teacher that teaches us that.
Well, I'm going to ask you to say, I'm going to ask you a question, you're going to answer it, and you're going to answer it in sign language as well. How about that? Okay? What would you say to all the children who are looking on right now who can't hear properly and you want to tell them about this program?
Well, actually, we only learned it in songs. We didn't really.
You learned it in what?
We learned it in songs. We didn't really learn it in words like.
So you're going to sing a song for me now and do some sign language? Come on, you could do one verse.
Okay, well, I don't really know this song too much, but I'll do the sign language. Right?
Okay, go ahead.
Right here?
Yeah, you could sit and do it.
Okay,
And what was that?
that was the song we did yesterday.
And what were the words?
It was like silent night, in the silent night, I gaze upon your face, the glory of a king, his majesty, regards.
Okay, so it was the message of Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Gail, thank you so much for coming. Have a lovely holiday.
Yes.
I think that all of us who went to school know that one of the best parts of school time is holiday time. So enjoy it, okay? Do have a lovely, lovely holiday. That's Gail Suknanan from Pepper Village Government School. And we're going to get now a visit from Ebenil Aaron Bernard, who is with Clark Rochard Government School. He's going to come in next. Officer Fraser, I take it the first pupil, Matthew, when he said an Officer Fraser came in and he was really nice, you were the person he was talking about.
That's the person he's talking about.
Okay, so you got a good rating there from the pupils at the school. How important is it for, the police officers to get that trust from the children? Because I would imagine that if you don't break that barrier, and there is a barrier, if you don't break it, you're in a losing program.
Yeah, because one of the components in the program is the dare box, which we ask the students to put their questions in the dare box. So when the officer comes on mornings to do his program, the first thing he goes, so what time is it? They say dare box time. So there are questions in the box that the officer will answer. I think that's one of the areas that helps build the trust. When you answer the question truthfully, honestly, you're going to attend your programs on time, and you're able to interact with the students after your program. It builds that kind of trust. So it takes time, it takes effort. The police must be able to build that sort of bonding with the student, other than just their program, but in terms of this own school life, their own private life, able to talk with them about issues, and so that helps build the trust. And so.
All right, he's comfortably seated, and he's going to have to get up in a little while because he's one of the students. He's the only student who's going to give us a little performance here today, and his name is Ebenil Aaron Bernard, and you're with the Clark Rochard Government School, which is where?
Pinal.
In Pinal.
Yeah.
Okay, how long have you been attending that school?
11 years now.
All right, and so what grade are you at now? What form?
5.
Form 5?
No, standard 5.
Standard 5, all right. That means you're in what age group?
11 years.
11 years. And you've been there from when you were a baby then?
Yeah.
So you just love that school?
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of friends there?
Yeah.
Okay. About how many in the school did the program?
50 children from the school.
Okay. When did you find out from, I don't know if it was your teacher or the principal who came to tell you all, the 50 children, that you were going to be doing the DARE program?
I found, like, before, a few days before they introduced the program, he came into our class and told us that he picked us for the program.
So you didn't know anything about the DARE program before that?
No.
What, if someone said to you, you did it, well, I'm going to say it to you, you did the DARE program, what is the DARE program?
The DARE program is something it teaches you to say no to drugs. And like so you won't get involved in drugs anymore. Like people who are using drugs, the harmful effects and what tobacco can cause and alcohol and like these other things.
Did you know anything about the harmful effects of drugs before you participated in the DARE program?
Yeah, I just know about the marijuana, how it can cause breathing problems.
Who told you that?
My parents, and I heard it in a show already.
Yeah. So in other words, your parents have tried to give you information about drugs?
Yeah.
Yes. Did it make a difference when it came from a police officer standing in front of you? Did you think, well, this is really serious?
Yeah. Yeah, but after I realized that he was friendly and I didn't have to be scared anymore.
You were scared of him at first?
Yeah.
Who was the officer who did your program?
Mr. Gosain.
Mr. Gosain. So he came to all the courses, or did you have different officers
It had
come in?
different officers. It had three officers and they went to all the classrooms. We had 3 classes and altogether there were 50 children in the 3 classes.
Were you excited when you were told you were going to be part of this program? What was your initial reaction?
Well, I was excited to know more about drugs and what it can do to you and other things like that.
When you say that you were excited to know that because you didn't know about all the terrible effects before?
I knew, but I didn't know as much as I was taught by the police officer.
Did you have any friends who tried to take you in the wrong direction? In other words, do you know anybody who was doing drugs, had sampled alcohol? Were you ever offered any form of drugs?
No, I was never offered any.
But now if you are, you know the answer.
Yeah.
Yes? You're going to do a rap for us?
Yeah, I'm going to do a song.
You're going to do a song? Okay. What is the song about?
Drugs.
Did you write it?
I took it from another song, but I changed up the words.
Okay, so it's a tune we may all recognize, but so you wrote the words?
Yeah.
All right. When did you do this?
The day before we graduated.
And did you sing it at the graduation?
Yeah.
How was graduation day, by the way?
It was excellent.
Yes. What happened on the day?
We participated poems and songs, and I was involved in the song one part.
Okay. My kind manager in the studio is going to take off your microphone. I'm just going to put this one on for you, and you'll do the performance for us, okay?
Okay.
You'll do that? All right. Officer, you know that he just said that different officers share the opportunities in schools. Why do you do this? Why do you mix up the officers?
Well, those 3 officers, one police constable Henry and constable Taylor and Gosain, they're a team. They all work in Southwestern Division. They are their officers, and they give support to each other while they present the program. So they walk around the class, ensure that the students are participating, they're involved. So they work as a team, those 3 officers, to support the initiative.
All right, so young man, let me introduce you, because you're going to be a star now. You're performing on the program. His name is Ebenil Aaron Bernard, and he's going to do a rap for us, a song all about drugs.
These are some serious times. All I can see around up these days are people using drugs. They don't have time to socialize and realize what the drugs can do to our bodies, how it can give our family lots of worries. It's like you wake up this morning, you better give thanks. You don't know if you're gonna live to see tomorrow. Your life is much more precious than drugs. Yeah, and if the truth hasn't been told, so I said, these are some serious times. All I can see round up these days are people using drugs. They don't have time to socialize and realize. People who are in marijuana and cocaine, a lot of alcohol and drug trafficking. If they woke up this morning, they better give thanks. They don't know if they're gonna live to see tomorrow. Your life is much more precious than drugs. Yeah, yeah. And if the truth hasn't been told,